Hello, 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 Facebook friends. It's been a minute since I came on here live, and I had some really just thoughts that have been pouring over my brain, and I wanted to share it with you and just maybe inspire you guys to think different, or maybe if you haven't thought about this or the concept of digging your well before you're thirsty, maybe start thinking of that now. And I wanted to talk today about the importance of building a leverage income. And so if you're like me, 6, 7 years ago, I didn't know what leverage income was. And so if you are like me and you don't know what leverage income is when you're paid again and again and again for work that you've already done in the past. So think about someone who wrote a book. They did it once, but every time that book sells, and it could be 20 years later, they're still making money from that book, that song, that whatever, right? Leverage income is so important. A lot of times you can associate leverage income with like real estate, buying a property once and then having it pay you again and again and again as you have tenants, right? So I wanted to talk about leverage income and the importance of creating it because there's a stat that's really kind of hit home for us in our family. And that is that the average age of people going back to work is 74 years old, re-entering the workforce. So you would think it would be something like 18, they're graduated from school, they're going to, they're entering the workforce, or maybe it's they're 22, they graduated college, now they're entering the workforce, or maybe they're 28, 30, and they have a master's degree and they're re-entering the workforce, but it's not, it's 74. And that is, you have to ask yourself why. And it's not because these people didn't set themselves up well. For example, I'll give you two close examples in my own family. My dad is a doctor, he's got a great income, but he cannot retire, or he doesn't want to allow himself to retire because he doesn't have residual income coming in. So he knows that if he stops working, there's nothing coming in, and they have a mission they support and relies heavily on them financially, and so he doesn't want to stop working because of that, you know. So he still works and works and works and works and works. And then you have someone like my mother-in-law. My dad is 75, 74, 73. My dad is 73. Hasn't retired yet. But my mother-in-law is a really great example because she's someone who did everything right in her own life. Like grew up in East Germany. She worked all this time. I mean, when I met her about 20 years ago, she told me to the day when she was going to retire. She was so excited, you guys, to retire. I can't even tell you. Like, she would be like, I have 6 years, 4 weeks, 3 days, and 5 hours, and I am retired. And she was so excited. And so I watched her retire. It was really an exciting thing. And for about 4 or 5 years, she was retired and she was just living the life of her dreams. She went on cruises twice a year with my stepfather-in-law, with Andre's stepfather, and just had a really, really great quality of life. She retired about 65, 65. Yeah, so then you fast forward to this time, and she set herself up really well. They own their house completely outright. Now, to own your house from my mother-in-law's age and coming out of East Germany is very admirable. Like, it's really a big deal for her to buy a house. Most people never even dreamed of being a homeowner in East Germany. So my mother-in-law is exceptional. Like, she's amazing. Debt free, own their cars, like set themselves up really well. And so when their retirement came in, they were set up for life. Like, they were really, really happy. And that's what she was excited about. So what I'm going to talk about is like fast forward. Life's on you, right? And you get all kinds of unexpected curveballs coming at you. And what ended up happening is, after 2020, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law were not able to travel anymore because of all the shutdowns, the lockdowns, and everything, and it was really, really hard for them. And so they got the thing, because they were like, well, we just want to travel. We've been doing this all our life. My stepfather-in-law, he got really bad dementia. It was a little bit there beforehand, but it just accelerated it. And so it's gotten so bad to the point that, about 6 months ago, he's had to go into an older folks home, and it's a beautiful one. It's where Andre's grandmother was in Germany, and they take really good care of them, and it's really nice, but it's very expensive. It's like 2,000 euros a month or more just to have them there. And so my mother-in-law is in a situation now where that's taking such a chunk. His care is taking such a chunk out of their retirement earnings that she's going back to work. She just said to Andre and I that she's going back to work. And it's like heartbreaking for us. We're like, no, don't go back to work. You want to travel, and and you want to do all these things. And so our goal is eventually just to completely support her and be able to fund her life and make all these things happen for her. So we're working on that. But it's because they don't have residual income coming in. They don't have this, money that keeps paying them again and again. Yes, their retirement income, but you want to create something that is a well, like we call it, digging a well that you can always grab water from. Do you need more? You just go in and get your well. And so that's what I wanted to talk about, like this importance of doing these side hustles that you're seeing your friends do. I mean, they're on social media, they're sharing with people, they're educating them on so many things. That's this modern sort of attraction marketing that we do, where you're educating people, right? And you're also sharing an incredible opportunity or incredible products that have been life changing for you. And so if you're able to do that and create a team over time, the idea is you are creating leveraged income so that money is coming in whether you're working or not. So backing it up a little bit, before, like, I used to, Andre is such a hard worker. Like, he's an executive chef. I stayed home with the kids. My husband was out, doing his thing. Absolutely amazing chef, and all he knows is like really hard work. And so we just couldn't like, we couldn't figure out why we couldn't get ahead. We had our cars paid off. We ended up owing like 70,000 on our home in Pennsylvania. Like, we were doing really well. And then life on us, and our old cars broke down. We bought new cars for cash, and those were clunkers and needed a new transmission, and just boom, 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 and the little expenses here and there that came out of like left field. And we found ourselves, okay, down at zero again, working our way up, still growing our family, trying to do the things like save money yet still have a holistic lifestyle, which is really expensive. And we couldn't figure it out until someone explained to us what leverage income is and how you can create it. And so that was just like a light bulb moment for us. And actually for us, it was going to be real estate. So we bought a foreclosed home in Newport News. We were going to flip it, and then or rent it out, not flip it, but rent it, and then continue moving on to different properties. But we didn't have, like, with our life going on, with me not working, just on Andre's income, with our large family, and doing the things we wanted to do in our life, it was really hard to save up enough to be a competitor out there with all these people buying up properties. And so the person who introduced us to network marketing was a man who had a traditional business, and he was like, you guys have got to do a business like this, an online business, an online store, so that you can create money, so that you can then compete with people when you go to buy houses. Anyway, that was our introduction into network marketing. But the beautiful thing about network marketing is it is a way that you can start creating leverage income with pretty much like no money at all right now, like starting from ground zero. Like, if you had $200, $250, and some time to invest at like an hour a day, you can start building a well that's going to pay you later in life, so that you can retire and not worry about things. So the difference with leverage income right now, what we've created in the last 5 years of doing the business that we're doing, is it used to be like, if my husband couldn't work, or if he had, if he injured himself, or if we needed to take time off, or if he needed to take time off, let's say, to be with me for whatever reason, or a family emergency or something, he just wouldn't get a paycheck, right? With leverage income, that is coming in anyway, right? So for example, right now with our leverage income, with the team we've built, what we have is that if we had to walk away from our business for a month, 2 months, 3 months, we would still get paid. We would still have the leverage income coming in from the team we created, and everything that we've grown in the last 5 years, right? Now our goal is to help you, if you're interested, to create what we've created, to create leverage income. And everyone's goal is going to be different, right? My goal personally is to become so financially free that, we can't, like, the matrix can't harm us. Like, we can afford what we need to. If we have to get up and leave the country, we can afford to do that. If we need holistic care, we can go and do that. If we need to go fly to, another country to get medical help because it's holistic and it's out of pocket, we can do that, right? So we've created that lifestyle for us ourselves. We can save up now to buy a homestead, right? And then when we have a homestead, we are not like these poor farmers, but we actually have a residual income coming in to help us operate the farm, right? Or to hire and helpers to bring us there. So my goal is to help you do the same thing that we've done. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you feel like me, like, I see if you can relate to this. Um, I would wake up, with this hardworking husband, and I would wake up in the middle of the night pregnant and to go to the bathroom, 8 kids, like pregnant a lot of my life. And I would just think in my mind, like, what, when does this end? Like, my husband works like 13 hours, 14 hours a day from the time he leaves to the time he gets back home. It was such a demanding job, but, he couldn't, I don't know, there was no end in sight. And my husband is about 12, 13 years older than me. So I would think like, wow, we're just going to like keep working, 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 working. And there's really not going to be any end to that because we can't save up enough to keep going. So I just thought, okay, what we'll probably eventually do is I'll work part-time and he'll work part-time so that we can have part-time of our life together. And what's been amazing about this business is we've had 2 years that you'll never be able to take away from us, that we've had the most awesome experiences traveling the country, um, just making all kinds of memories, going down the Pacific coast, going up through Arizona, Utah, Idaho, incredible pilgrimages that my husband's been able to take a part of, and the boys, and the time my husband has had with the kids and us as a family. And it's telling you, it's so worth it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be all those things, but it's going to be worth it. I promise you. So what I wanted to do today is just kind of put a plug in for you to start thinking about what you would do if for some reason you couldn't go to work, for some reason you lost your job. If, you want to retire, what is that looking like for you? Do you have a retirement plan in place? And is it going to be just what the government subsidized for you? Is that what you're planning on for your retirement? Um, start thinking about these things. And no matter how set you are, it's always smart to have a little side hustle that you start building up right now that can grow and compound over time so that in 10 years time, because remember, this isn't a job. You're not working 8 hours a day. You're not also not getting paid like you would 8 hours a day in the beginning. You're just compounding over time. You're trusting the process. You're following the success system. You're staying plugged into your team and getting little wins along the way that turn bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and snowball into something really, really, really beautiful. So putting that out there just for you guys. If you're interested in learning what I do, reach out. If you are just curious about like side hustles in general, reach out to me. I'm an open book. If you want to know like what our journey has looked like, just like any questions, feel free to ask me. We are right now in Florida. Um, Getting ready to head up to Nashville in about 2 weeks. We have a convention coming up, which is really, really awesome. If you guys are considering doing the activation business, it's an awesome time, but I would really encourage you to get in before convention, because convention is where you start to see like, aha, this is what I see, what's going on. I see the potential. I see where I fit in, and you get really, really excited. So I'm on a high because I actually just interviewed my friend, Dr. Christina Park. She's one of the America's Frontline Doctors. She's a cellular molecular biologist. She is so fired up and excited about the business and these products and what we have. And she's so passionate about it. She's built a business completely on her passion. And it's just got me fired up for what it is we have, but equally what we have for our health. To me, it's like health is and living a good life and freedom embodies so much more than just being physically healthy. It's like, do you have time freedom? Are you able to travel? Are you able to get what you need, or do you stuck in a limited box because of you have limited options because you have finite income coming in, right? So lots and lots of exciting things. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm not sure if I can see the comments here. Actually, maybe I see something from Susie. But yes, let me know if you guys have any questions, if this relates to you. If you've built a residual income, comment residual income. I want to know like how you did it, what got you thinking about residual income, what was your the aha moment that made you realize like, okay, that's what people are doing, and that's where freedom is going to come from having leverage. Super, super exciting. Do you invest in real estate? I'm super curious. Like, have you written a book? Do you have residual coming in from that? Just lots and lots of questions. All right, guys, take it easy. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. Let me see if I can end this. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.